Hey everyone, Adrian here. Welcome to this video. Today's topic is three things that when these three things are missing, anxiety, stress, worry, depression can rise. And that's what I want to talk to today. So this is really for the person who is a high achiever, person who is an entrepreneur, person who wants more out of their life. So if you feel like you're that type of person, if you feel like you're always striving, if you feel like you're always hustling and working hard, and you feel like you're always efforting and grinding and working your face off and all of those things, and feel like you're in a constant state of striving but never really arriving, and find that your levels of stress, your levels of anxiety, your levels of worry and angst and depression are on the rise or on the increase, then this video is for you, okay? If you're online and you want to say hello, and then just simply say hello and let me know that you can hear me properly. Let me know things are loud and clear, because I think this is a very important topic that I want to talk to, okay? So a large portion of the people that I work with, okay, so they're business owners, they're entrepreneurs, they're people that want more out of life, and including myself. I guess we find ourselves in a state of like efforting, really wanting things to happen. We have inner desires, we have dreams and goals and aspirations, and we want these things to come to fruition in our life. So there's a certain internal type of beacon, I guess, or an internal type of feelings that want this to happen. We're always striving, we're always like craving, we're desiring, we want this to happen. And that internal desire and craving and wanting and efforting requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of mental bandwidth. It requires a lot of strength and a lot of, like energy. I guess it saps it out of us. And when we're kind of always firing on all cylinders and we're kind of motoring through the day, and as you know, if you're a parent or if you're a husband or you're a wife, life gets really, really busy and you're kind of trying to be all things to all people. So as a result of all this efforting, as a result of all this trying, as a result of all of this high energy, we kind of left ourselves feeling like there's feelings of not enough, feelings of not doing enough, feelings of like, is this worth it? Is all this effort that I'm putting in worth the outcome that I'm achieving, that I'm trying to achieve? And so it leaves us feeling with a bit of doubt and a bit of anxiety and a bit of worry and a bit of concern about the future, because we're kind of future pacing all the time. So the reason why I'm outlining all of this in such a deliberate fashion is just to explain and kind of relate to you in a way that I know how you feel, because I go through it every day. So when we're doing all of these things, we kind of lead ourselves to a state of burnout. We lead ourselves into a state of burnout, and then we're feeling like we're kind of really flat, and that causes us to worry more, to have more levels of stress, more levels of depression, or higher levels of depression, simply because we're not doing the things to alleviate those feelings. And that's what I want to point to today, okay? So if this sounds familiar, then let me know. Give me the likes and the thumbs up, and let me know if this is something that is sounding familiar to you, because I really want to workshop through this today and help you through it, because these things to me is something that I work on with myself and the clients that I work with, okay? So if it resonates with you, then this is really going to help you, okay? So I'm going to give you three strategies, things that are going to really, really help you within your goals and dreams and aspirations, and make sure that there's balance within everything that you do. So the first thing that I want you to take on board is an activity called reflection, okay? Now, you can look at this in a few ways, but the way that I want you to train your mindset to look at this in terms of reflection is that the challenge with chasing the horizon, meaning our goals and dreams and aspirations, is that the horizon always moves, okay? Because we're overachievers by nature, what happens is we start to aim to a certain level, and even before we get there, we start moving the goalposts and chasing that horizon. So it's a part of this kind of, we're always trying to arrive at a certain place, but the destination is never reached, it's the journey. So then we stop and we don't realize that it's part of the process of growing and evolving as human beings is enjoying the process, okay? But I want to take it a step further, because that's fairly common knowledge and fairly cliche. What I like to do and what I've been implementing with my clients is reflecting on the past. Okay, so reflecting on how far we have come to this date right now, to this point in time. Because what is really, really critical when we start to think about reflecting on how far we've come so far is we look at not only the accomplishments that we've achieved from the time that we started and embarked on this journey of personal development and all that kind of stuff, or growing and achieving goals. Is we not only look at how far we've come, but we look at the obstacles that we've overcome in the meantime in order to get us to this point, because it's never been smooth sailing, right? So I don't think we as individuals take the time to reflect, one, on how far we've come so far, and number two, how many hurdles and obstacles we've overcome in order to get here. It's by no mean feat that we've achieved all the things that we have, and it really has taken such a lot of effort, and it hasn't always been smooth sailing, and I don't think we reward ourselves and really acknowledge about all the downtimes that we've overcome. This is what builds character. This is what builds strength. This is what builds fortitude. This is what creates the person that you need to become in order to achieve the goals that you want, right? Because you need character strengths. You need character traits in order to do this kind of stuff. So this is the world's way, in my opinion, of teaching you the lessons that you need to know now in order to move on into the future. So the first thing is to reflect positively on your journey, emphasizing on the obstacles that you've had to overcome in order to be in the position that you are. Don't take that for granted, and take the time to pat yourself on the back. That's number one. Number two is future gazing. Okay, so much more than just goal setting and writing things down on a piece of paper, and much more than affirmations as in, I will be wealthy, or I will be successful, or I am a great person, whatever that may be for you, is seeing vividly. So in an imagination, seeing vividly what it would be like to achieve your goals and what it would feel like to achieve those goals, okay? So what this does, in order to think critically about our goals and about our future, is when we can anchor neurologically in our neuro pathways of the brain, if we can have a vivid imagination. Remember, as human beings, this is how we learn. We learn by pictures. We learn, this is an apple. Here's a red apple. What's this? It's an apple, okay? So we know this is the way we learn. And so to utilize that and to almost use it as like a brain hack, we can then visualize our future. But more importantly, visualize what it would feel like, imagine what it would feel like, feel the feelings as if you were already achieving it. It does two things for you when you do this. It allows you to internally anchor the feelings of what you need to be chasing, so you know whether you're on track or off track, okay? So this kind of gives you your compass, your true north of going forward. And then the other thing, it enables you to ask yourself critical questions. So often as busy people, as entrepreneurs, as people that want to achieve more in their life, we find ourselves being busy, right? Not doing the things that actually result in the outcome that we want to achieve, okay? So the best thing that I like to do is I like to say to myself, is this moving myself towards my true north, or is it taking me away from my true north? And if it's taking me away, do I necessarily need to be doing it right now? Or can I delegate that job to somebody else? Or can I just fuck it up entirely and not do it at all? We have to kind of like stop doing shit like that, that waste our time. In $1, like say as a business coach, I'll be saying your time is worth $100 an hour no matter who you are. So are you doing $10 an hour jobs, or are you doing $100 an hour jobs, okay? So that's number two. Future gazing, super important, highly critical. When these things are missing, the result is chaos. The result is not being organized. It's disorganization. And that reflects and manifests in more stress, more worry, anxiety, more depression, because you've got too much stuff going on and you're not reflecting on the points that you've overcome so far. And you're not also looking to the true north and anchoring in what direction you're meant to be on. It's like Google Maps, yeah? You open up Google Maps and it says, where are you right now? Put your GPS on. Now, where do you want to go? Now it draws a straight line to where you want to go. Most people in life do not even know where they are. As a matter of fact, and even more so, they don't know where they want to go. So knowing those 2 points of reference is very, very critical. Here's number three. a super critical one for people who are high achievers, for people who have got so much going on in their life and they want to achieve heaps that are, going forward, okay? So we've got these grandiose goals that we want to do. We want to leave this world a better place than what we found it. We want to leave a mark on the world, okay? So here's the thing, refueling. It is such an important thing. And I know it's cliche and everyone's going to say, oh, you should meditate and you should eat healthy and whatever. Okay, here's the thing. Too many of us overlook this one, and it's for a really, really good reason, because most of society, if you look at social media, if you look at Facebook, if you look at all the people that you might admire, you'd hear this hustle your face off, grind, work hard, and just like never leave a moment spare, and like always be working, yeah? And the problem with that is that it leaves us feeling emotions like guilt when we aren't working, or we feel like we can't sit back and relax, where our brain is always wired for new ideas. It's always wired for something else. And when we stop and relax, we almost feel guilty for being still, because we start to go on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And we look at other people and we think, well, fuck, by comparison, I'm not doing nowhere near as well as they are. So I need to work harder. And it's almost celebrated, like in Australia and in Western culture, it's almost celebrated. If you worked 100 hours a week, you're a fucking legend, But the problem is, if you work 100 hours a week, you're probably a fucking idiot, right? Because you're working so hard, you're missing out on all of these opportunities to be with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. You're missing out on all these opportunities to be with your kids. You're not tucking them in to go to bed. You're not reading them a bedtime story or anything like that. You're not spending quality time with your family. You're not doing any of these things that I've just mentioned. So it should not be celebrated. And for that reason, I think most people feel guilty for taking a break. So what we need to be thinking of is, what's the best thing for me to recharge? If I was in a car and I was driving 100 kilometers an hour, flat stick, and in fifth gear, and I just kept going hard and hard and hard and hard, eventually that car is going to blow up. Eventually that engine is going to die. Eventually I'm going to run out of fuel. And that's what happens to our bodies. That's what happens to our mind. Because remember, we are exerting not just physical energy, but mental energy as well. And it's very an unwritten thing, or an unspoke of topic. When people think about mental energy, it actually requires more like 2 units of physical energy for every 1 unit of mental energy expanded. Like, it really takes and envelops the whole body. So we need to take time out in order to recharge. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is switch off that goddamn phone, go to the beach, or go for a walk in nature, or just sit and be quiet, or watch your favorite comedy, or just spend time with your children or time with your family and just relax and enjoy the moment. Just allow your body to do almost like a defrag of the mind. This is why when you go away, if you ever do that, is to, you get all your ideas, you get 10 or 15 ideas in the first 5 minutes of relaxing on a holiday, and you're like, why am I so proactive and productive in my thinking? It's because you finally let yourself relax to the point where new ideas can come in. So this will serve you to no end. Okay, so just to recap, reflection, future gazing, and refueling. These are the things that are going to make the biggest difference in your life when you're starting to try and achieve more, when you want to have more in your life, when you want to really make a dent on this world. But again, you've got to look after the number one thing. You've got to look after your vehicle, your heart and soul and your mind, all those things. None of your goals will mean anything if you don't take care of yourself. Okay, I hope this has helped you. I hope this has served you in any way. If you want more information on any of the topics that I discussed, just type in more info below. Until we meet again, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.